Hey everyone, today is day 3 of the belt tightening challenge, and today's video is going to be about how to tips and tricks for driving for favor, though these really work for anybody. One extra tip I don't think I talked about in the video that I've added is I have gloves and they match my outfit. Anyway, so hey, people appreciate the gloves nowadays, so I put those on when I'm handling people's food. And but wanted to give you guys an update. Day 3, I did have a mishap on food yesterday. I made a poor decision on that, but there's a video coming up right after this. But if you want to skip ahead to the other tips and tricks part, you go ahead. I did not do well on finances yesterday, not because I spent money. I didn't actually spend anything except on groceries, which is the point of this, but it was so dead yesterday. We're all trying to figure out the new system for when restaurants are opened or closed. I got so many closed restaurants, I just called it a night. And I started late yesterday, as I mentioned in yesterday's video. So, but here's a quick video on what happened last night, and then we'll get into the tips and tricks. Go ahead, skip ahead if you need to, if that's what you're here for. But thanks for watching. I'll see you back tomorrow. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications, and comment below. I appreciate hearing from you guys. So I wanted to ask you guys, what do you do when you break one of your commitments to yourself? Because here's what I normally do, especially when it comes to food. I usually go into some sort of downward spiral. And I say that because I was going through a drive-thru and they gave me extra food, told me to keep it, and ended up eating it. It was not on plan. Now, I'm still well under my calorie count for the day, but it's still not the plan that I'd set forth. And so what I'm working on is, first off, I have a very hard time turning down free food. I mean, it's free, so what do you, but I'm trying, and it's one of the perks, it's actually one of the perks of this job. It's because you don't really make a lot of money, so every now and then there's something like that happens, and there's a small bonus. Anyway, just trying to think through that, but what I'm primarily working on is not spiraling. And that's my goal, and that's part of the reason I'm doing this series, so I can talk through this stuff with you guys and get feedback in the comments if you've got any, is how to not go and then binge eat. That's normally me. It's like, well, I done screwed it up now, might as well eat another 5,000 calories, and that's how you end up this size. But changing it up, working on that, and hopefully getting out of that cycle. Yes, I'm not going to ever do this. I love these people that come on the videos. Well, I just followed the plan. That's what I did. I never strayed. I was perfect on the plan, and I lost 200 pounds. Well, go you, girl. It ain't me. It's like, nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. You have not had the right chocolate cake. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, let's get on with this video. Hey guys, and welcome to Life After the 4 Photo. My name is Jason Vaughn, and I am just about to make my first delivery for the week for Favor Delivery. Hey guys, so I just finished my second order, completed that, and throughout the day today, I'm actually going to give you tips and tricks for doing delivery. The first one is make sure you have the Waze app. It's a lot easier to use to navigate. It's the best thing I've found, and you can add multiple stops to it. Second tip, make sure you smile at everyone, whether that's the people you're checking out from, the doorman, and certainly your customer. You want to make sure that not only does this help with tips, but it just helps make their day better and make your life easier. They're going to be nicer to you, and maybe you'll just make their day a little bit better. Check with your client before you start your favor. Make sure you text them first. There's a thing in the app where you can text your client. I have a template set up to say, hello, is there anything else I can get for you? Is there any customization that you would like? Double check the order, and also make sure if they're wanting a hamburger, what are they going to want on it? If they're wanting a pizza, do they have the toppings listed, etc.? And then make sure to grab napkins, condiments, anything that could just make their experience just a little bit better that they would want, or that you would want when you're grabbing that sort of food item. I'm just about to pick up my third delivery, and that reminds me to tell you to make sure to order ahead of time. You want to either call in if you can, or try to see, you might want to order online or check to see if there's an app. It will save you so much time. Also, if there's an app, check to see if there's a rewards program. They might have a VIP program, a frequent diner program, something that you can check into that you can make sure to order and use this, where they may not let you use your VIP card if you're checking in person, but if you do it online, they'll allow it. Also, make sure to sign up for all of the VIP programs at different restaurants. Specifically, Chick-fil-A is a wonderful one. They allow you to always scan your app if you are going through their drive-thru. They've been very gracious about it, which is why a lot of drivers will wait around at Chick-fil-A for their next order, and it helps them to make sure their orders are going out to their customers quickly. Get used to saying no to homeless people. Unfortunately, it's going to be, if you're in a major city, it's just going to be part of life. Be respectful because they are human beings, but be firm and say no when they're asking for spare change. You go broke very quickly. They end up doing deliveries in rough neighborhoods, so carry some form of protection such as mace. I hate to say it, but you've got to be prepared. Be very gracious if people don't exactly know how things are working right now, especially if you're watching this shortly after this video was filmed. You know we're in a time of flux and crisis, and people don't exactly know where deliveries are going and how everything's handled right now. So just understand that and think of how they might feel in this time and be willing to wait. Yeah, you might not make as much money because you're being gracious, but I promise ultimately it's the right thing to do, and it always comes back to you somehow. If you don't have an order, it's best to don't really follow the hot spots, but go to someplace like Chick-fil-A or HEB, where you know there are a lot of orders that typically come from. It's best if you can actually find one that's also in a hot spot, so then you get the best of both worlds. But don't just sit around and wait somewhere. Make sure to get one of these insulated bags. Also get the pizza bag. That way you can always make sure your customer's food arrives warm or cold, and you get to take care of them, and they will greatly appreciate it. That's actually the number one complaint people have, is that their food did not arrive warm enough. Personally, I like to wear the favor shirt because when I go into a restaurant, they know I'm there to pick up a delivery, and it helps speed up things a little bit for some restaurants. They'll go ahead and make sure to get you out the door as soon as possible. They don't have to wonder if you're just there to eat. And it also helps when you're just wearing it for your own sake. If you're just going out to eat, they may move you up a little bit. With Favor, you're going to get a little credit card that you will make all of your purchases with. Most of the things that you will go to, you will be using that credit card for. If you do that, make sure to take a picture of the receipt and make sure to save that. You don't want to end up with a ton of receipts in your pocket, and so just try to get rid of them as quick as possible. Make sure you have that receipt to prove purchase. If you don't have to purchase the items yourself, it's called a fleet order. It actually has this little winged logo up at the top when the order comes in. That means you're just picking it up. That's HEB, the Rice Box, maybe a couple of other places that will have this, but that means that Favor is doing their delivery for them on behalf of them, and so they think they're ordering directly from Rice Box. And so if you call them, you want to make sure you let them know that you're with Rice Box, not say Favor. Those are some of my favorite. That's why I like waiting in HEB, because they will actually get that done faster for you, and they're some of the best deliveries. They also seem to tip the best. On tipping, don't judge someone based on, well, really anything. I've had people that look like they're not going to tip at all end up tipping, being the best tippers I've had. And I've had people in very luxurious high-rise condos that tip the minimum $2. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I think this, especially if you're younger, one of the things I think people are afraid to do is make sure they have all the information they need, or they think they know it all. Trust me, I understand. So there were a few people that were in our class besides, and there were two that were older than me, and most everyone else was younger. The only people that asked questions were me and the older people. The only people that are still around after about a week, from my understanding, are the older people. I think first off, older folks are paying bills and need the money, and so there's a little bit more dedication there. But you want to make sure that you get all the information you need. There's customer support, there's runner support that's always available to you to call and ask questions, or to text and make sure you understand how everything works, including the promotions. Try to do something besides just listen to music. Music is great, but it can get a little monotonous. I enjoy audiobooks. I just finished I'm listening to Shonda Rhimes' The Year of Yes right now. Phenomenal book. And I just finished listening to Mike Rowe's book, The Way I Heard It. I cannot recommend that book enough. If you want a subscription to Audible, check the link below. But you can also just go to your local library and get if you have a library card, there are a ton of free audiobooks you can get. But it helps a lot to have something to listen to on the road. Or there's also podcasts. Again, The Way I Heard It is a great podcast by Mike Rowe, and a lot of others that you might enjoy listening to. But turn the road into a university itself. Be learning while you're here. This is not a lifetime career goal. You want to be developing yourself while you're on the road. So far, I've noticed that Favor does not actually offer a lot of does not actually offer promotion like bonuses, but they do offer what they call guarantees. So if you do 4 runs in the morning, you get $40. If you do 6 runs at night, you get $60. If you do 65 runs on the weekend, you get $850. If you do 50, you get $500 guaranteed. So it's not these are not bonuses. These are just if the amount that they're paying you, which is usually $2.10, plus the amount that you're being tipped does not add up to that, they will fill in the bonus to make sure that you are making at least that much money. If you don't see a tip show up, don't worry. Ultimately, you will get at least the minimum $2 tip, which is not great, but at least it's something. So you're gonna get at least that. Sometimes people need to update their credit cards or just have not gone back to their app to finish off with the tip. I wake up most mornings because I think things run through at, say, 5 or 6 a.m., and you tend to actually get a lot of tips that way at that time. I'm not sure if they're just pushing through with their recommended tip, or just people have finished the tips overnight or as they woke up in the morning. When you have the chance, grab extra condiments, napkins, utensils, etc. Keep them in your car. You never know when you might need them. You want to make sure that the customer has everything they need, because they're going to, not only is it your job, but they're probably going to tip you a little bit better too. Don't speed. You're not making that much money per delivery. You do not want to get a ticket. It is not worth it, guys. Take your time. Make sure to follow all the road rules and get there safe and on time. But make sure that you're safe above all else. And finally, stay in contact with your customer the entire time. You want to let them know what's going on, when you're going to be there, when you're at the restaurant, etc. Yes, the app sends messages, but it's a little bit better if you are in touch with your customer most of the time. It's building a relationship with them, and again, will help with your tips. This also does not apply to fleet orders, because unless you have problems, you do not have the ability to text them. You can call them, but try not to do that unless it's absolutely necessary. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed these tips and tricks for driving for Favor. I've made around over $700 last week, but I put in a lot of hours, so it's not something I would recommend long term. But if you're in a transition point in your life, it is a phenomenal job to take on, and you can work the hours that you are available. I highly recommend it as a side gig. So if you would like to sign up, there's a link below for my referral link that will help you out to get a bonus, and I'll get a bonus as well. But I hope you enjoyed this, and please like, subscribe, and continue checking in every day. As you know, right now I'm doing a 100-day challenge and for weight loss and spending, and I hope you will enjoy that journey with me. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you again soon. Hey everyone, today is